And we are live.
Good morning, everyone. It's the one and only V, the Guerrilla Economist, coming to you live with my main man, CJ, aka El Cuco. And we are bringing you the news, the views, and all the information that's important to you. Check us out, roguemoney.net. Follow us on Twitter at The Rogue Money and The Rogue Money on Facebook, Rogue Money on Steemit, Rogue Money DTube, Rogue Money Apple News, Rogue Money on every single podcasting app known to humanity in this side of this dimension and other multiple alternate Earths at the same time. Yes, we're capable of doing that. Also, check out our sponsors, RemainCalm.net, RemainCalm.net. Don't freak out, Remain Calm. Whether you need an improvement in your credit score or you need money to get crypto, start a business, buy a house, get a car, whatever the heck it is you want to do, RemainCalm.net is the place for you. They can get you up to $600,000 unsecured from their network of 335 lenders. That's pretty awesome. And also, folks, check out mygoldusb.com. mygoldusb.com. There's gonna be some changes coming to mygoldusb. We're gonna actually put that on a proper store. It'll be easier for people to get to. This way, you can get your gold USB or you can get your silver back. You can surf the web anonymously using 1024-bit ECC encryption. And that is the key. Is encryption is the security and the peace of mind that you get. Go to mygoldusb.com. Also, guys, check out the Crypto School, thecryptoschool.io, thecryptoschool.io, the place where you can learn about the wallets, the exchanges, everything that needs to get done. Thecryptoschool.io. With that all out of the way, CJ, what's crack-lacking, brother?
Hey, V, it's Friday heading into the weekend. Big weekend coming up. And just excited. I mean, it really appears on domestically here in the U.S. that some things we're heading to a constitutional crisis here in America, V, and it's long overdue. And I hope that the truth comes out of everything that's occurred regarding all the corruption, everything. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I think the memo that was leaked. Sage, why don't we both of us start breaking this thing down? I think this is the biggest news there is, and right. So let's break this down, bro. You start.
So, obviously right now we have a situation, involving massive corruption. Nothing new to us. We've known this. That's occurred at the FBI, at the DOJ, in regards to the entire the Russian dossier that was pretty much fabricated. And the memo, the documents that are going to be released that they're pushing for, has been completely released to Congress. And from all angles, from all news reporting that are reporting on this, is that this is so explosive, because this does involve senior officials.
Yes.
Senior officials that are directly tied to the FBI, to the DOJ, and perhaps even funding, even paying for this information to come forth. Just a complete violation of the FISA Act, which basically gave them the permission to wiretap the Trump administration. We talked before we went live. This completely makes Watergate look like a lemonade stand at a suburb community.
Dude, this thing makes Watergate look like a Sunday school picnic. This makes Watergate look like a gathering of nuns. It makes Watergate look like completely ethical. This breaks all the laws, CJ. This is incredible. Incredible.
Yeah. So you have numerous representatives coming forth. Republican Representative Mark Meadows is reporting it's troubling, it's shocking. Part of me wishes that I didn't read it, because I don't want to believe that those kinds of things could be happening in this country that I call home and I love so much.
Yeah.
That's the type of impact that this is literally going to shake the foundation of our country. This is going to expose the criminality that has existed for years. And I'm happy. And I don't want to stop there, V. I want the entire truth to come out. The pedophilia that's been covered up by the DOJ. I want the CDC and the vaccines, how they're harming kids. I want this to completely expose. I want this house of cards to come crumbling down because it's long overdue.
I agree wholeheartedly, man. I mean, Dan Bongino, the former Secret Service member, tweeted out, "Take it to the bank. The FBI, the FISA docs are devastating for the Dems. The whole image," and he's so poignant when he says this, "the whole messianic image of the benevolent, quote-unquote, Barack Obama that they disingenuously try to portray was about to be destroyed. The real Obama, the vengeful narcissist, is going to be exposed for all to see. My sincere apologies for the expletive, but shit is about to hit the fan. The former Obama administration's going to have a lot of explaining to do. Hashtag Obamagate." And that's Dan Bongino, former Secret Service member of the Secret Service. This is huge, bro. Because I remember when 2008, when that fraud was elected, right? You remember? Everybody was taking like gospel songs, taking out the word Jesus and inserting the word Obama in it. Kids were singing schools. Well, I mean, kids in school were singing songs after this guy. I mean, he was looked upon as the Messiah, the one who's going to save us. And what did he do? He has wrecked the country in the short amount of time span that he's been president, and that is a damn fact. Huge. The dossier, folks, in question, the fake dossier, which has Barack Obama's fingerprints as well as Hillary Clinton's fingerprints all over it as the point man, and that idiot, corrupt jihad sympathizer Brennan and James the Clapper. That dossier that was created was used as evidence for a warrant to surveil members of an incumbent president of the United States of America. According to a story that was published, former British spy and hack, I wouldn't even call him a spy because he's so damn incompetent, Christopher Steele. If this is the type of espionage and spy networks that Britain is producing, no wonder they are nowhere as a country. I feel sorry for them. If this is what they pass us for intelligence these days, my God, God help them. And God help the idiots that were at the cocaine import agency as well. Christopher Steele, who compiled the dossier in 2016, was hired by who? Fusion GPS, or as I like to call them, Confusion POS, meaning piece of shit. Confusion POS, or Fusion GPS, the firm's founder, Glenn Simpson, him who himself is a neocon sycophant, neoliberal in disguise, former Wall Street Journal reporter who already testified before Congress, and that was leaked. Remember that leak from the Fusion GPS? That whole testimony was leaked from Congress by Dianne Feinstein, right? And that was explosive in and of itself. Now you have a follow-up, which is this memo, which is massive, right? In October, the Washington Post revealed for the first time that it was Washington Post, folks, not the conservative right-wing daily, not the, alt-right anything. No. This is Jeff Bezos' Washington Post revealed for the first time that it was Hillary Clinton's campaign and the DNC that financed Confusion POS or Fusion GPS. Congressional members are hopeful that the classified information will be declassified and released to the public. It will be. This is going to happen. There's too much of a storm. And the right people right now, the good guys are in charge of calling the shots. What are the chances of this being released? 100%. Releasing to the public, all right, is going to require a committee vote. And let me tell you something. And it will be released so long as there's no objections from the White House within 5 days. And folks, let me tell you, there will be no objections from the White House whatsoever. In fact, this was strategically done by the good guys, by the white hats, to eliminate these bastards. Why do you think there's over 30 and counting congressmen and senators that are not coming back, Siege? Over 30.
Bingo.
Just like QAnon said months ago that that's exactly what's going to happen. Again, a confirmation of who Q is. Obama's FBI colluded with the Clinton campaign to destroy a presidential candidate. Let that sink in for you guys. And then an elected president of the United States and his family. This is one of the greatest scandals in American history. You want to talk about abuse of power. You want to know, this is what, last year when Trey Gowdy was grilling Comey about who authorized the unmasking. How does unmasking work? Who authorized it? Well, a person who's supposed to be surveilled is masked. And they have to get a FISA court warrant in order to unmask that person and have their names displayed. Who ordered this? This is huge. Huge.
V, I know it's difficult, but one of the things that I really want to reiterate as we navigate through this, because obviously you're going to see a lot of people that are really going to try to politicize this whole thing, left, right, Democrat, Republican, and I'm calling on those people to move past that. This effort that was put forth was an attack against all of us, against our Constitution, against our democracy, against our freedoms, our liberty, all those things. I mean, let's face facts. If we look at the history, the Bush administration, others, I mean, there's a lot of co-conspirators, in this that date back several years. And I think that's something that we need to keep in mind, is that let's remember that just as many on the right that sit on the right were as guilty as well. Let's remember the John McCains. Let's not let the John McCain slip out of this. Let's not let the Lindsey Grahams slip through this. Let's let this truth come out, because we're begging for it. I know the American people are begging for it. And it's something that we have to move forth as a country. We cannot grow. We can never mend. It's going to be a healing process to get through this, because this truth that's about to come out, the massive information, there's going to be a lot of people in disbelief. Think of the people that were literally lying on the ground, screaming, crying, when Trump got elected. Imagine the truth when it's going to come out, when they hear that the United States was arming and funding ISIS in Syria. When they hear the Iraq war, the weapons of mass destruction, the 9/11, the truth that needs to come out.
Yeah.
And so when we look at this, I again, it's not necessarily yes, it's political, right? Left, right, they attack too, but both parties are just as guilty as hell, V, and we need to remember that.
1000%, and that's what guys over at WikiLeaks has reminded us yet again. Both these scumbags. This is a lot of these guys, especially the Republican side, might be crooning at this point. They might be crooning in an amazement and so happy and giddy because they're going to get power. The reality is this: this is a different DC since Trump came in. It's a different DC. Things are starting to change. You can feel it. You can sense it. You cannot, folks, let me tell you something. This Obama gate, which is being called, this whole, the memo that's being circulated right now, that's already been disseminated to Congress, that's already been brought to press. Okay? While these freaking idiots at CNN, with their small audience of mentally deranged, lithium-popping idiots, watch them continually talk about Russia collusion 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Other reputable news sources, and heck, I'll even throw Fox News in there, are going full blast with this memo. It is trending hardcore. It is trending hard body on social media. It is trending hot and heavy everywhere right now, all over the internet. This cannot be ignored. It will not be ignored. You cannot put the genie back into the bottle. You can't do it. You can't do it. This is out there now. This is out there. This will not be put away. They cannot mention this. They cannot create all this fervor and these memos not come out. These memos are going to come out. It's not a question of if. It's what day this month. I have a feeling, CJ, they want this out before this presidential State of the Union.
Right. Bingo. Yeah. Bingo. Yeah. It's really, it's the moment of truth here, right? It's that moment that we've been building for, that we've been looking for, that decisive moment that's going to define, our country as we move forth. It's that big. And I know they're out there. I really want to look to get a constitutional scholar to interview, to discuss, because this is unprecedented. That we've never been in this path of history, in the United States.
Maybe we could ask Barack Obama. After all, he went to Harvard and he was a constitutional scholar.
Yeah, the CIA funded president, right?
More like Saudi funded.
So I also see right now that the hashtag release the memo is trending. So for our audience, anything that you post, the articles that you're linking, whether it's on Twitter, whatever social media platform you use, make sure you tag that release the memo. It appears also WikiLeaks currently has because they want to get this document. They're offering a $1 million reward for this visa abuse memo. And you're exactly right. The entire Congress has had the opportunity to, what's that room that they call where they move into the room that they have to leave all devices outside of the room, and it's completely secured. Usually you see it in a movie where it's surrounded by glass.
Man. War room.
So anyway, so all the Congress has been in to review this document, and this will be the moment of truth. It's time to release this. Let the American people have it. Let us read through it, so that the entire American public can understand, what truly happened, because it was truly attack on everyone. It wasn't an attack on any particular. It's impacting all of us, and we cannot move forth until this truth is exposed, till we reveal the criminality of what occurred.
It's huge. It's absolutely huge. And the law that was broken to attack Trump is reaffirmed in the House and Senate. This is what I told you, folks. This is the problem. You see, we have the dumbest politicians in the world. Okay? Our politicians, from an IQ level, from an educational level, from a real educational level, from a real academic level, from a real applicable level, and experience level, ranks way below Russian politicians, ranks way below Chinese politicians, and ranks below politicians of several other nations. Our politicians are lawyers. Our politicians are sycophants, power-hungry bastards who are looking to enrich themselves. That is 97% of them. Okay? And I told you this example. The way our government works is if tomorrow, if the oceans would dry up, we'd still be building submarines. And we'll have a bucket line of people stretching from a fire hydrant all the way to the ship docks. And they'll have a bucket brigade pouring water on the sub. That is the American government. That is the stupidity of the American government. Okay? And what they do, the same thing, the same law that was used against Trump, these idiots over in the House and Senate, they're reaffirming it. And they're reaffirming the FISA Section 702, which the NSA has been using for warrantless surveillance on Americans. Internet communication has been renewed with a 65-34 vote in the Senate Thursday, following up similar passage in the House last week and moving it to the White House for the President Trump to sign, likely on Friday. The controversial surveillance scheme was passed almost entirely as it was previously written, with no serious reforms making it into the final bill. One major provision requiring warrants related to ongoing crimes was added, though for Americans not involved in crime, warrantless surveillance will remain the norm. Technically speaking, the NSA isn't considered to be eavesdropping directly on Americans, but rather eavesdropping on the entire planet. And then, having incidentally captured communications of Americans, is allowed to rummage through them without a warrant. Congressional leadership largely shrugged off calls for reform on the grounds of national security and complaints about the system being built to abuse, which it has been, which we're seeing with this memo. With these calls that it is abusive were largely forgotten in efforts to renew before the previous version expired. This is the stupidity of government. This is why we, the people, need to shackle these a-holes. We need to shackle them. We need to bind them with the fetters of term limits. We need to no longer be the laissez-faire, fat, lazy, stupid idiots sitting on a couch watching a friggin' football game that doesn't matter. Your sport, men. Your sport, ladies, should be government, should be politics. Then, and only then, can you turn your attention to the NFL, UFC, or whatever the heck it is you like to watch, or the NBA, or whatever. Politics should be your pastime. Because we can only maintain a republic, can only be maintained by a vigilant and moral public. Moral in the sense of libertarian values. Moral in the sense of constitutional values. Moral in those senses. Anyway, what else is going on, CJ? What's the next thing we got?
Yeah, just real quick. I mean, I think that with this happening and this information coming out, I think that, and again, I don't want to put any fear out there, but I think that we need to be probably on the highest state of alert right now. I think that we probably will see. I've been monitoring the news cycle, so apparently, I imagine that they will probably shut down the government, and I'm not sure what they'll blame it on, right? With this whole debacle regarding the budget and the extended budget and what to pay for. But I think that the stage that we're entering now with this information coming out, we have to be on a state of high alert. I think this is the time that we could potentially look at, some event to happen to try to shift the national attention away from this. Mm-hmm. So just be mindful of that, V, as we navigate through this.
Keep your eye on the prize. Keep your eye on the prize, because that's exactly what's happening here. There will be some things that will try to distract us. make us forget, because we all have, the majority of Americans have the attention span of a goldfish. And I'm hoping and I'm pretty sure that the good guys will do their best to make sure nothing distracting happens throughout the world. And I think our true friends and true partners around the world will also ensure that as well. So this problem, this festering problem, this festering tumor that we have domestically will be taken care of. That's what I'm hoping.
Amen. Absolutely.
We have news that the neocons are trying to influence the White House on the whole Syria decision, saying that they're going to have an occupying troops there until Assad is gone. This is a concern for many people, but I think it's a moot point. Look, folks, this is why it's a moot point. In the midst of all the shenanigans, in the midst of all this hoopla, in the midst of the 26,000, soon to be 30,000 point Dow, the U.S. economy is about to get killed. The U.S. economy has a date with destiny. The U.S. economy has an appointment with economic Mother Nature, which I've said several times is a bitch with claws and fangs. That destiny is still there. It's still there. It hasn't gone anywhere. It's still there. So they can hoopla all they want. They can make all the ruckus they want and all the things they plan on doing. This is a country that has no scruples, no idea about exactly what the hell the mission is. Nor does it have the moral high ground. Countries that do not have the moral high ground cease to function. Happens all throughout history. Why do you think Hitler lost World War II? He doesn't have the moral high ground. So he was willing to sacrifice 300,000 troops on the gates of Stalingrad like an idiot. Same thing. Same thing. They want to put 20, 30,000 troops in a northeastern border of Syria with no plan. It's the Baghdad green zone all over again. But this time you have the Russians there. This time the Iranian forces are in operation over there. This time, heck, you even have China private military contractors like Dragon Water functioning in that area. It's not going to work. And the sword of Damocles, folks, which is the dollar being rejected officially globally as the world reserve currency, and the death of the petrodollar, which is literally probably at this point weeks and maybe even months away from actually happening. So whatever plan the U.S. has, I think right at this point, I just chalk it up to rhetoric. There's no plan. This is why you have Turkey, a NATO member, that's officially against the U.S. regime change efforts. Folks, the most hated people in that region are the Kurds. The Syrians don't like them. The Turks don't like them. The Iraqis don't like them. And what does the U.S. plan entail? Oh, let's take a whole bunch of Kurds and give them a little
security force. Security force.
What did I tweeted this months ago? I said any sort of Kurd security force, any sort of Kurdistan that's been put out will be wiped out by Turkey, by Syria, by Iraq, and by Iran. Nobody wants them there. Not going to happen. But this is how short-sighted and stupid. This is what the lackeys who went to Yale and Harvard, who think they're so smart, who don't understand the real strategic picture. This is what they do. This is the stupidity, again, on wide display. Unreal. On top of that, folks, just to tie it in, CJ, why does California have the nation's worst poverty rate?
Oh, I don't know, V. Could it be the massive amount of government regulation stifling business? Could it be the highest tax rates probably in the nation?
Yeah. Socialism works. Okay, and the whole entire thing is their scream of fighting poverty. We're about to fight poverty in California. We're gonna make sure that we sequester capitalism as much as possible. Because we're Californians and we understand. Dude, California is America's biggest welfare recipient. That's why these idiots over there are saying, oh, we're going to secede. You secede, you will be a failed state overnight. Please, please, go ahead. Save us the trouble. Please. I mean, they're so enlightened over there. It's unbelievable. And it's symptomatic of much of the country. But California literally leads the country in poverty rates. Leads it. Because insane politics. Folks, let me tell you something. California at one point was the best state in the United States. Had the best economy in the United States. The best market. I mean, California was it, man. It was paradise. And in a short several decades, these far leftist nut jobs, these Democrats have destroyed it and ruined it. Is there anywhere the Democrats haven't ruined? Is there, CJ? Wherever there's a Democratic majority, is there a place that hasn't gone to shit?
Every time you look at any type of state and economic status, it appears to me that they struggle in almost every state, whether it's Illinois, Michigan, you name it, they're there.
It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Anyway, CJ, anything else you want to touch?
That is it. That is it. You know, we'll continue monitoring the news cycle. You know, and I'm sure this is just will be trending continuously all day. Some great articles were up at roguemoney.net, posted last night by James Rush, an analyst. Some great intelligence information from the LaRouche Pack with Harley Schlanger. So go check that out. And then at 2 p.m. today, we're going to be releasing a pre-recorded interview done with Stephen Menking. And Stephen has been featured before on the Hagman Report. It's a great interview. I've listened to it a couple of times. Yeah. And so we will be releasing that at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today, V.
Awesome. And with that being said, folks, we are over and we're out. Take it away, CJ.